And this is a mystery box.
Or the mystery box.
What's in the box?
Mystery box could be anything. It could even be a boat.
Hey everyone, welcome back. If it's your first time here, the deal is that my dad needed more space in the house per my mother's request, and so my sister Martha shipped his entire comic book collection, roughly 7 long boxes full of comic books from Minnesota to Washington, and this is me going through them. So in the last episode, we got through a few, maybe the first quarter or so, the first third of our first long box. Now we are continuing the exploration into the next one. So I'm going to grab a stack of comic books and we're going to start going through them. Right up front, Agent Liberty #1. I have no idea who this is. So I will research this after the video. No idea. Mighty Thor 433. Some newer Thor. Rom, this is, okay, so there's 2 things happening here. First, Rom, we saw some of these in the last episode. I like this character a lot. I'm always happy to see more of these. I would love to put together the full run and be able to read them. But then next up, we've got this, which is really exciting. So when I told my sister Martha to ship these, I said, take any comic book that has a cover price less than 30 cents and put them together in the middle of the boxes. Because those are more likely, these are Silver Age comic books, they're more likely to be more expensive, to have a higher value. So she obviously has written high value on this piece of cardboard, and right up front we have X-Men #15 in, I will say, remarkable condition. It is super nice. I mean, it's not near mint, but it is one of the best. Holy, okay. And it looks like my dad paid $4 for this. So this might be, I know we haven't set up a trend here or anything, but this might be a slightly different episode where I go through fewer comics, do more research, and we talk about them a little bit more in depth, because next up we have Captain Marvel #1. Again, pretty good condition, not quite as good condition as the X-Men. There's a little bit more damage up here, but I mean, this is incredible. This is Marvel, the first Captain Marvel. Really excited to see this. This is awesome. So I guess we'll keep going. The Mighty Thor 153. I'm really trying not to look at the next comic book so that I'm not getting too excited by what I see beyond it. I love early Thor comic books. This was back in the day where when Thor was running around town, he was pretending to be a normal guy, Dr. Blake. They referenced that in the very first Thor movie. I think an ex-boyfriend. But again, this is a comic book that it looks like my dad paid $6 for. And I think we can do a little bit better than that. And then I also peeked at the next one. So if this is the comic book that I think it is, we're sitting really awesome. This is Fantastic Four #53. I'm pretty sure this is, if not the first, the second appearance of the Black Panther. This is a really key book. These are all, I didn't say it about Thor either, but the quality of these, the grade of these is sort of a little unbelievable. This one is in really good condition. If this is the first appearance, this is a book that I'll definitely have professionally graded. And then depending on the price, because the movie is so popular, depending on the price, I might have it professionally graded anyway, because it is just in such good shape. X-Men 26, again, amazing quality. I mean, in the camera, it looks just great. X-Men 27. I'm so excited to see these, you guys. I've been trying to put together a complete run of X-Men Volume 1. Uncanny X-Men number 1 through number 544, I think. So to see these early, I wasn't expecting this. I mean, I don't know if I was expecting any Silver Age, and I certainly wasn't expecting Silver Age this well preserved. Re-enter the Mimic, not the first appearance of the Mimic. This is when he comes back and tries to get the X-Men again. Fantastic 456. Wow. I think this is the first appearance of Claw. I could be wrong. Also really good quality. Thor 180, 15 cents, not 12 cents. Still Silver Age. Thor is angry in this one. And again, the quality of these, I can't say it enough. Iron Man 27. This was back when he had a skirt. His iron skirt. Introducing Firebrand. Unfortunately, it looks like someone has drawn swastikas on Firebrand. I don't think that was part of his actual marketing, so that's unfortunate. You see this a lot with old comic books like this, because I mean, when these were selling for 12 and 15 cents, they were considered. I mean, imagine finding out, 40 years from now that something like Silly Bands are selling for $1,000. So they didn't treat them with any kind of respect or anything. So this probably went to some kid who, thought Firebrand should have been a Nazi? I don't know. Some early Captain America, something he paid $3 for. Unfortunately, it's obscured the number of the issue. One something. Thor 171, The Wrath of the Wrecker. I don't know if this is going to be the first appearance of the Wrecker. If it is, this could be a key issue. This could be worth quite a bit. Again, really great shape. He paid $1 for it. This is when you start getting mad at the old man. Early Marvel Tales starring Spider-Man. We saw one of these in the last episode. It was, I believe, it was a much later issue, but it was the one featuring the X-Men that Todd McFarlane drew. So, just a much earlier Marvel Tales. Now, I'm trying to decide if I want to grab some more of the Silver Age stuff, or if I just want to research this, because I imagine we'll talk a lot more about those. I think I'm going to grab some more. I think we've got time. We've got time. So I'm going to get some more of these. I'm trying to be careful. I don't want to slide them around too much, is the problem. Okay. So, right up front, Amazing Spider-Man number 91. I've seen interviews with Stan Lee where he talked about having the text on the front cover, and the publishers at DC basically chasing this. Like, do we put text on there? What do we do? And it was just Spider-Man was the best superhero of all time. Spider-Man 95. Spidey in London. Got some guys coming out of the windows shooting at him. Okay. Holy shit. Okay. X-Men number 12, featuring the Juggernaut. This is the first appearance of the Juggernaut. This is insane. Okay. It's not as good a quality as the other books. I'm going to see how close I can get to the camera here. You can see quite a bit of damage along the spine, but it's still very firmly attached. Top is clean. A little bit of scuffing at the corner here. A fold down here. But a really good quality of a very expensive and rare X-Men comic book. I mean, I don't know how we follow that. Thor 127. Great quality, but not the first appearance of Juggernaut. Okay, some war comics. DC's Our Fighting Forces, Hunters, Hellcats. There's a period in the late 60s where war comics became really popular. I'm wondering how many more we're going to see. People loved these. Yep, The Losers, 123. There was a movie based on this. It was okay. Dell Comics. So this isn't Marvel or DC, the Green Beret, but trying to capitalize on this, love of war comic books. Pretty good condition. I have no idea if this is going to be worth anything. We'll check. Given everything else we have, if you don't see this again, just assume that it's not worth very much. Mysteries of Unexplored Worlds, featuring Son of Vulcan. This is a weird-looking book. Who published this? CDC? I don't know who that is. We'll find out, I guess. Gold Key. Here's another earlier comic book publisher. They did a lot of literary adaptations. You might find like Gold Key, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, and that kind of stuff. But another war comic book, a really good condition for a Silver Age comic. I doubt it'll have any value, but pretty cool. Here's another one. And another one. Here's LT Hunter's Hellcats. You can tell I want to get through these so I can look at that, find the price on that X-Men book. Jason's Quest, DC Showcase. This is in some rough shape. There's a rip in the cover. I don't recognize these characters, so I doubt very much there's any value here. Here's Sergeant Rock, DC Sergeant Rock. This is probably one of the more popular war comics of the era. These were great. Super cool. Another Sergeant Rock. These might have a little bit of value. Hunter's Hellcats. Another The Losers. And Star Spangled War Stories. So we're ending this video with a brick of war comics. I'm going to sign off for now, and I'll be back for you very quickly to talk about these issues and what we're looking at value-wise. So I thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you again soon. Okay, so welcome back, everyone. I am now back. It's been a brief amount of time for you. It's been a considerable amount of time for me, and I know what you're all looking forward to, so right off the bat, let's just get it taken care of and out of the way. Agent Liberty #1 from DC. Unfortunately not worth a lot. $2. So yeah, we'll just move on from there. Let's do the War Comics first. So up right away, we've got Tales of the Green Beret from Dell. I didn't expect this to be worth any money. It's actually worth about $50. So that is a pleasant surprise. Yeah, happy with that. Next up, we've got DC Our Army at War, Sergeant Rock. Now, these are worth around $20 to $50 each, but I still wanted to call them out just because this one in particular, the artist on these comic books is Andy Kubert, who is incredible, just an amazing artist. I love his work. He did a bunch of dinosaur stuff too. You can see it on the right hand side. He's got like a T-Rex there. Andy Kubert art is just the coolest. So I would advise you checking that out if you are interested in comic book art at all. Look into Andy Kubert art. It's great. Next up, we've got a mystery that I solved that I didn't know that I was solving it. So over the course of looking at the comic books, we saw these Lieutenant Hunter's Hellcats, and then also the Losers. These, it turns out, are the same title. DC Are Fighting Forces. So it took me a while to track these down. Unfortunately, the only one of them that's worth any money is this guy, Our Fighting Forces number 123, which is the first issue of The Losers, which is that property that, if you remember, they made a movie about. So this one is around $60. Next up, we're going to go through some comics pretty quickly because they're all right around the same price, or at least the same region. So Thor 153, Amazing Spider-Man 91, Amazing Spider-Man 95, Thor 127, and Captain Marvel #1. And I'll say Captain Marvel #1 might be in a different boat. These are all in $100 to $150 range. Captain Marvel, the thing with this one is I'm not very good at grading comic books, and I'm just really unsure about this section here on the cover. Depending on how this would reduce the grade, we're talking 100, 150. It could be more than that. I'm just not confident enough in my grading ability to go any higher. Next up, some fun. So in going through these Fantastic Four comic books, we found Fantastic Four 56, which I thought might be the first appearance of Claw. It turns out this is not the first appearance of Claw, and that this comic book is not in particular very expensive, between $50 and $100. But Fantastic Four 53, which I thought might be the first appearance of the Black Panther, is not the first appearance of the Black Panther. It is the first appearance of Claw. It's also the first appearance of T'Chaka, Black Panther's alter ego, Black Panther's alter ego's father, and it's the first appearance of Vibranium, a key element in Phase 1 of the Marvel movies. So this comic book, in the state that it's in, anywhere between $300 and $400, I might still have this graded. This guy, less, unfortunately. And now we get into the X-Men. And this is actually what everyone is waiting for. So X-Men number 26 and 27 are both in really good condition. Really happy with the way that these look. I would put these anywhere between $100 and $150. They could be more than that, depending on, again, how they grade. I am not very good at deciding that. Even then, given the condition of these, I still might have these graded. I'm recording this during COVID quarantines, and as a result, there aren't a lot of comic book conferences going on. But the next time CGC is in town, I will be taking these to at least get them sort of looked at and to see, what they could show up as. X-Men number 15 is going to grade pretty well. It's also a very, obviously old X-Men comic book, potentially $200 or $300 here. This is another one that I will see about grading. And like I said before, this is the run that I'm trying to put together. So to have these is incredible. I'm just so thrilled with them. And that brings us finally to X-Men number 12. The first appearance of the Juggernaut, not in great condition, but still in pretty good condition. And garbage copies of these will sell for, $300 or $400. So this could go as high as $800 or $900. Probably also grading this. I mentioned before it's not in great condition, and bringing it up, you can see some of the damage along the spine. You can see the fold at the bottom here. But still, talk about to pull a key issue like this out of comic books that I received because my sister mailed them to me from my dad. I couldn't be happier with this. I couldn't be more thrilled. I mentioned maybe at the beginning of the first video that I'm a collector. I'm not a reseller. I'm not a vendor or anything. I just like having a big collection of comic books. And, we've got these just really incredible pieces of comic book history here that I get to put into my collection. But at the same time, shipping close to 500 pounds of comic books from Minnesota to Seattle, Washington isn't cheap. And I was, hoping that I would at least have the value in these comic books to break even on that. What you see in this pile alone easily quadruples what I spent on shipping. And we're not even halfway through the first box of comic books. So with that in mind, we're going to sign off from this episode. I might actually skip the next bit of Silver Age comics so that the next episode is a little bit longer and we go through some more stuff closer to that first episode. But if you guys don't want to do that, let me know in the comments below. We'll go through more old stuff. Thanks for watching, everyone. And thank you, Martha, for shipping me this bit of history. Later.